You know what's going to be packed?
What's going to be packed?
Probably the Casey's if there's no
Probably
pizza.
the Culvers.
In Ord?
I don't think there's a Culver's in Ord.
Okay. I was just throwing.
Is there a Val's Express at least?
There might be because it's a local.
Yeah.
It's an in-state. But you know a place that will be absolutely packed? Scratchtown Brewing in Ord.
Oh,
For that day,
all right.
they will set records. I bet they'll have tents outside at Scratchtown Brewing.
Have to. I wonder. So 2,700 people in Ord, 1,400 people are going to the game.
4.9 rating.
Are we?
Hey, if you are ever up there, the Loop River, that is a beautiful area.
Ooh.
Like I'm familiar with Taylor Burwell. That whole area, once you go north of Grand Island, that's a very underrated part of Nebraska. But up there on the Loop River, Scratchtown Brewing, banger, highly recommend.
Looks like I know where I'm going for my anniversary.
I need to look this place up.
So
now.
my idea here of taking a practice on the road in the spring.
Yes, you have a lot of ideas.
Here's going to be when it happens.
Okay.
So
I
Nebraska's brand in Omaha could be better. Okay,
yes.
But you also have to win.
Yes.
I think Lincolnites, you there in Crime Town, you feel like we can't say anything negative about Nebraska athletics, and Nebraska could put a horrible product on the floor, and Lincolnites will still go.
Yes.
But when you're a little bit further away, because I sensed this when I made the shift from doing Lincoln radio to Omaha radio, y'all can be a little bit more negative here, and there's no fear of the head coach driving to your radio station and ripping you out of your seat.
You getting why is the phone ringing in the studio right now?
Now, there are phones available, and it has happened before on this show when a coach is called not happy with something that was said.
Sure.
But they can't drive. They can't just drive across town and come and get you.
Good morning, listener
They
Matt.
can't see us in person.
But we are, I think the Nebraska fan base in the city of Omaha is not as, just because you're GBR will. Because it's an effort to be a fan in Omaha because you got to drive to Lincoln, especially on Saturday. So
and it's expensive too.
We like to, say, okay, what am I getting on my return of investment? We used to not do that. It used to be you were winning and I would do anything. And hey, you're telling me you're playing at the Devaney Center at 7:00 and I don't get off till 6 and I got to go home and pick up my kids. No problem. I'm going to make it to Lincoln. I love you, Danny Nee. Okay. that doesn't happen as much anymore. So here in Omaha, and this is my observation, the brand can be better. The brand is good, but the brand can be better in the city of 1 million people, the largest city in the state of Nebraska. And here's how, they recruit here. It would help if Omaha kids would pop really well on the football field in Lincoln. Like guys that are recruited out of Omaha, they go to Lincoln and they do big things. Nebraska has very cognizant of Omaha and getting in the inner city and the connections they have in recruiting with former Huskers that are in the city and on the streets. So they keep them abreast of, hey, this kid's coming up. You got to take a look at him. They do camps here. And that's a big deal because when they do camps in Omaha, it is not like the GAs that come. It is a lot of position coaches and it's some of their names. Here's when this can happen. So your little logistic thing, you can work the logistic. You got a few years.
I'll work it for you.
The spring of 2028.
Okay.
At Omaha North's new football stadium.
Ooh,
I wondered
so
if
it
you were
opens
going
in
there.
2027.
I like
so
that.
play a full fall football season for North at their stadium in 2028. Can you imagine that circus rolling into 36th and Ames to put on a practice and what that would do to North Omaha to have the entire Nebraska football program come to them?
It would be great, and it would
put it on the calendar.
It would be a big moment, and it would be awesome for that community. And like you said, it strengthens the bond of what's going on in that athletic department and what's going here in Omaha, because all the points you bring up are correct in terms of it is much harder to be a fan of Nebraska sports here in Omaha than it is in Lincoln. At the same time, this is just the truth. Even if they come out here, even if they shake hands, and even if they do a practice and or maybe if they don't do a practice, they do other things to try and strengthen the bond of the Omaha community. None of that would matter if they still go 5-7, if they still go 6-6, if there still isn't any progress. If anything, it would turn into, it's great that you're out here and it's great that, we have these events, but it's like, can you win? I want to win. People want to feel victory. They want to taste victory.
But do you want your program to go into a shell when they're struggling? That's when they need you more. And so you need to find a way to have that connection, because on the stream there is the discussion about a spring game and how that was the connection. The connection, the spring game tight connection started to erode when they didn't allow little kids on the field to say no to drugs, because you got a chance to go down at halftime and run around the field and hear a football coach who has got a dip in tell you to say no to drugs.
I thought you were going to actually give a great point.
So yes to skull.
You set that up. You set that up like you were going to give a legitimate, like, at this point, at this time, this person made a wrong decision, and that's what happened.
That's when the spring game became corporate, when we stopped allowing kids at halftime to come down on the field.
And now all they do is drugs.
And the Connor Happers of the world. If Connor Happer, the little cherubic, redheaded Connor Happer,
tiny baby Connor,
comes down on the field at halftime to say no to drugs, but he doesn't really care because probably later in life he's going to smoke doobie after doobie. But for that day, matter. He's a little Husker fan, and he comes down to the field, and his biggest memory is he dropped his pizza on the field, and he thought they wouldn't be able to play. That's the memories that they created with the Say No to Drugs pledge. They got rid of Say No to Drugs. Fentanyl use went up. We had more trafficking in western Nebraska, and our connection to Nebraska football, it went away.
So it had nothing to do with the fact they started losing. The spring game became boring. It became more expensive to go.
They go hand in hand.
Hype on the team wasn't as high.
Even in the bad years.
You started thinking, does my financial investment even count for the spring game?
Even in the bad years, drug use was still down because kids remembered they said no to T.O. or Solich or Callahan.
They said no to MJ.
They said no to Bo, that I will not do drugs even if you're 7 and 5.
Now you go to Memorial Stadium, there's needles in a trough.
I just want to let you know.
Can you imagine Rule? Can you imagine Rule as the orator if he got to give the say no to drugs?
We have a standard here. We have a standard. All right, top standard. Our standard is we don't do drugs.
That's it.
Right?
Never drinking again.
We overthink Nebraska football too much. I think I've just gotten to the core of it. Bring back the say no to drugs pledge, and then you'll have the tight connection. So that when you start winning this fall,
hopefully,
drug use goes down.
Can we say no to losses?
They'll win.
Let's say no to losses.
They'll grab some wins this fall.
I hope, man.
You're going 0-12.
I'm going 0-12.
I'm hoping.
I might have to work somewhere else. This place might burn down if that happens.
Jeez, here's the thing. If you're at the point where, hey, we got to make sure that we strengthen the connection with other communities because we keep losing, that's not a place you want to be at. All right. You want to strengthen the connection of the entire state of Nebraska to your athletic department. How about you start winning some football
You
games?
could make a case that when you're down, you need more people.
Yeah, do you know what I want them to be more than anything? I want them to be so up that they don't give a damn anymore, because that means that they're going to the college football playoff and playing in big games and having big moments and making actual memories. And so that way, 5 segments ago, when we talked about this Dylan Raiola having any memorable moments, you and I can sit down here and rattle them off.
Well, that's where we are. You have to face reality. You live in a dream future world.
I hope that my dream future world comes to fruition. I hope they win. I hope we don't have to think about, how do we get out to smaller communities to strengthen the ties to our team, because we keep losing and they don't give a damn about us anymore.
Hey, you live at the brand new Barnes & Noble, by the way, out at Village Point.
Ooh. I gotta go out there.
No,
is that Village Point?
Hey, what is the mall at 72nd?
Oh, okay. Crossroads?
Oh, I don't know. I think
it's Village Point. I was
out
out there just the other night. They got a brand new Barnes & Noble. Place was packed.
Village Point is out there.
You're living the fiction. I'm the nonfiction. That's what the section we are when we walk in there.
I think it would be fine if they went out. I'm just telling you right now, the logistical nightmare of trying to get out to different places with that. I mean, it's a big bus. There's a lot of pads. There's a lot of tape. There's a lot of tables. There's a lot of players. There's a lot of coaches.
They got this thing called a semi.
I don't know. Sounds
like do they have 5 of them? Do they have 5? I mean, they're going to need more than one. I mean, it's
no. What do you mean?
Or are you talking like a semi truck?
When they go to a bowl game, they just take the Selden truck.
Okay, maybe then, yeah. They got logistics.
Do you think
I'm just harping on you? I'm just harping on you.
Shadow Lake.
Regardless of what your idea was, I was going to find a way to get around.
Oh, Shadow Lake. Okay.
Hey, did they need more than 2 trucks to go and recruit Grant Bricks? No, they just needed 1.
Really worked out. It did work out for him.
It worked out for him. He said yes.
So do you think if Nebraska football just came out to Omaha and right in front of the Chuck just put a truck there, they just put the Nebraska semi. They didn't have any players, no Matt Rule, no nothing. They just parked the truck right in front of the Chuck.
Like the people that sell the meat?
People would be like, oh, I want it.
Just have a remote?
Yeah. Maybe. Hey. They just parked that truck, more people would come to the games.
One of the wildest experiences I've ever had. Someone meat out of a truck in
Really?
the parking lot.
You sold meat out of a truck?
I didn't. No, I didn't.
Okay, you bought meat out of a truck.
These are remote opportunities.
I didn't. No, I didn't. Yes, they would. So, do you not? I'll give you. And I because I noticed he was driving Brian George, who drives for Nebraska Athletics. He drives the Nebraska bus.
Okay.
I think sometimes they just come to Omaha and they drive the Nebraska bus around.
They should.
And the black shirt bus. And people are like, oh, who's in there? Who's in there? What is there? Yeah. So if you park the semi in front of
the
chai tonight, or the Chuck, or whatever they're calling it today, the downtown day trader, people will be like, oh, and they take pictures in front of it.
Yeah. I think just do that. That's way cheaper than like going to a stadium and doing a practice.
That's no connection with the fans.
Put the truck there. No. You get a connection with the fans, you start winning football games. Start winning football games. Then you'll start connecting with people.
Until you start winning football games, you got to think ahead.
I once again, I think the thinking ahead, or I hope the thinking ahead is we're going to win so many damn football games, it does not matter.
There are no guarantees in life.
Yeah, you're telling me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I'm telling you. All right. Brian Christopherson will come up after the break. Andy Kendi as well. Hey, 2028, put on your calendar. That's might be the first Saturday in April at Omaha North's new football stadium.
It's a good idea. I'll give you credit. It's a good idea.
I mean, once the buses come rolling off the interstate and they have a police escort into North Omaha and to North High School, and all the alums that have played for Nebraska from North
show up in their varsity jackets, high-fiving the guys if they get off the bus.
Telling you.
It's a good idea.
Niles Paul is out there.
It's better than your NIL trades.
Hey, Tyson Terry gets off the bus first. Last year of eligibility at Nebraska. Let's see, 25, 26, 27, 28.
It would be.
Yeah. All right, BC, by the way, a North Viking. He's coming up next on 1620 The Zone.